Hi, I'm Vanessa Bell Calloway. You may know me as an actress for stage, film, and television, but did you know that I have a passion for cooking and hosting private and very intimate gatherings? I want to invite you into my company of friends as we eat, drink, laugh, and chop it up only as good friends can do. Come on. We all are not perfect. I hate to break it to you, Wendy, but you're not. I think smart people, we learn how to use our flaws to benefit ourselves. What flaw do you have that basically you learn how to work to your advantage?
Alphabetically or numerically?
Whichever, wherever you like. I really think that those women who play the ditzy blonde, they ain't stupid. They're using that. They're using that to work it as their angle. Now, what flaw do you know that you have that's not perfect, but it's okay because you know that you know how to work it and use it to your benefit?
That's a good one.
You know what's interesting, and I'm going to put on this voice because it's very... it's
very Lord Bacall, darling. Very Lord Bacall.
And my husband and I, we always pontificate, and one of the things that we discuss in our dissertations is actually, how we can dine in the White House and still hang in the hood.
Oh, yeah.
And not saying that coming from that is a flaw, but... You know, I'm loud, obnoxious, but at the same time, I can still pull it together and sit with the anesthesiologist and my friends here. I mean, but you know what I mean? And for me, I've been able to parlay that in the characters and the plethora of different characters that I've been able to play. So it's worked to my advantage. Yeah. And scene.
I have this thing where I seek deeper consciousness and everything, and to be like really aware.
Everything.
No.
Vanessa, it's just cereal.
But what is the deeper meaning here, Dr.? And so what I have, I think one of the qualities that I have is that I'm able to call a spade a spade. Like I can really see when I've, when it's too much about me, and I can go like, you know what, it's my bad. You know, what is it? Tell me what it is. I have really great friends who love me in spite of my flaws, and so when they make me aware that, it's like, Ness, it's not all about you, I can go, you're right.
Kidding?
You're right. Exactly.
Are you sure?
I know exactly. It's hard to believe, but I go like, oh, you know what? That's not how I want to be. So I really want to grow. So I have this ability to just really, see all of the good, the bad, and the ugly, and go, you know what? I want to change that. So thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Wow.
So people have told me that they like that about me.
I think kind of we were talking earlier. My problem is I say exactly how I feel.
Oh, yeah.
No filter.
There's no filter about who I don't like.
Yeah.
And I'm not the most politically, this is the business of, certain relationships, but I'm like, I didn't like that movie, I didn't like them, he ain't a good actor, he ain't nice, he's weird. He says, I just can tell you exactly how I feel. If you're in a movie and you have the misfortune of asking me, was I good in it? And if I didn't believe I'm like, you might have missed that one.
Wow.
And I'm just gonna don't ask me if you really don't want to know the honest truth.
Right. Sean, do you have a flaw that you use to your advantage?
Well, in the courtroom, I think that conventional wisdom says you should not show your emotion necessarily.
Okay.
And I have shown my emotion. I've actually cried during an argument before.
Drama child.
And
you know what? Actress you want to be.
I think that works, though.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that women can bring to the profession better than men is that very thing.
Yes.
And I
Because
think
we're
it
given
showed,
permission to have it.
Yeah, and it showed authenticity, and I was making an argument on behalf of this very young woman who could have either gone to prison for a very long time or been released that very day. And she got released that very day. But I didn't know that was going to happen. I believed so much, and I was mortified when I felt tears rising up and like fighting that back, but it was like, I can't,
Right.
it's gotta
But you know, I'm sure that the jury connects with that.
Yeah,
I was in the jury and the lawyer. I was
Definitely.
like,
Because you guys
But
are
in this
supposed
case,
to be
this was a
stoic.
situation where it was a judge. It was a woman judge. There was no jury. I was making an argument to her in sentencing.
Got you.
And so I really felt like I need to be professional
Right.
and not let this out.
Right.
But there was no,
Wow.
there was no holding back.
That's the thing about our
But it was
humanity.
real. It was real. It was real.
Well, then, yeah, you should have been
real.
professional in that case. No jury. You're wasting this, Sean.
My husband is perfect. Let me just say that.
He has no
He's better than I'll ever be.
No, I can't think of anything that I've turned around. I mean, we all have flaws, but you know, not one that I've turned around.
He
and used to my
is a
advantage.
temper. He's
Okay,
turned
so
it
tell him,
around.
Vanessa.
And I've seen him go there, but he's learned how to turn it around.
But you have to like really.
But you gotta really take him
Yeah.
there. But I've seen him go there and I've seen him squash it and turn it around and make something good of it. I've seen that, honey.
Okay. Well,
He said, okay, he'll take my word on it.
all right. Ditto.
That's the secret. You know, I got your back.
It's funny because I think that definitely is my flaw too, because my father was not around, and the male examples that I had were in the street, and I grew up in a really rough neighborhood in Brooklyn, and when you got curly hair and you light skinned, you are a target, and so every time you step out of the door, it's a charge. So you immediately get into like these fights that you don't want to be in, and when you grow up that way, you don't even realize that like you take that into your adult life. Now, my flaw, I have to turn around and use for my kids and to teach my son, this is not the way.
I'm glad you recognize that because that's
Definitely.
so true.
Yep.
I have the best company of friends. To you all, I love you. Great time and good food.